we've already went through, design, font design. We went through basically a lot of things already. And now this is more so present now. We're talking about present media. We went through history, went through radio, went through print design. And we went through, even now, podcasting is recent. Podcasting is now. But what you're seeing now is video, UX design, and UI design. Does anybody know what UX and UI means?
I don't know what that means. What is that?
So what we got, that is user interface, okay? UX is user experience, and UI is user interface, okay? So let's start with video. And I may have to go back on that video. This video is kind of long. It's 13 minutes, what I want you to see. But video is important now because you see it everywhere, right? Video used to be like, oh, it's just on television, or, oh, it's just in the movies. But now video is all over social media. Video is used to tell stories. Video is used to sell you, right? So it's such a major part of your life. You see video at some point, every day. And we kind of went over the thing about video that's very similar. It's very similar to photography, which we went over as far as when we went over the imaging and framing and the rule of third, right? So I actually have a really good video by a guy who's well known in the film industry. And I'm gonna let him speak. I'm not gonna go through the whole thing, but and I expect you to look at it on your own time. But he definitely dropped some jewels on some of the things we talked about as far as framing, and I'm just gonna let it play.
In this episode, we're going to concentrate on what we film. We will learn how we arrange the subject matter, in which case, right now, me, within the frame. All the various shots we use and the language we have developed to describe them. How lenses can affect the image and how light and contrast play a role. So what makes a great shot? What makes your work stand out over others? The subject matter is incredibly important, but to make a pleasing image, we have to look at how we construct that image in the frame. We've been creating artwork and telling stories visually since the dawn of man. Over that time, artists have perfected many techniques, and we still employ these techniques today. Framing or composition is as relevant in film as it is in paintings, illustration, or graphic design. Over the years, we have learned there are many ways we can arrange objects in the frame using shapes and alignments that is pleasing to us. We can also use composition and framing to guide the eye to what we want it to see or not see, help telling your story. There are many rules in filming, and when it comes to composition, the golden rule, the main rule, is the rule of thirds. And it's important to understand this so you know when and how you can break it. So with the rule of thirds, if you divide the frame into 3 segments, horizontally and vertically, by placing objects of interest in the intersecting points, we create an image that is pleasing to the eye. There are many books on the rule of thirds and how it applies to nature in much more detail, but just following this one simple rule can dramatically improve your shots. In a wide shot, we can create balance in the frame with how our subject matter relates to their surroundings. And when we're in a medium, we can place that person on the lines to make a pleasing frame. When we're in the close-up, by placing the eyes on the intersecting points helps draw our attention to them. The eyes, as they say, are the windows to the soul, and they automatically draw our attention to them. By placing them on the rule of thirds, we are helping to drive the viewer's attention that way. We can even sacrifice many other things by keeping the eyes on these intersecting points. We can chop off the top of somebody's head in the frame as long as the eyes are in focus. In fact, we can get away with quite a lot as long as the eyes are in focus on the intersecting points. Another interesting form of composition is using the central frame. By placing the subject matter solely in the center of the frame, we draw attention to it. Central framing is also really good to use in fast-paced editing and shots, as the eye doesn't have to travel around much to see what's important in that frame. Central framing also allows us to play with one of my personal favorite types of shots, a one-point perspective central framing, playing with leading lines and symmetry as used by Stanley Kubrick and Wes Anderson. It draws us into the frame and creates a faux three-dimensional feel. I've been using these more and more in my work. So what do I mean by leading lines?
So I'm going to stop there, but this is a very, 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 very good video. I will email this PowerPoint to all of you so you can have it and get that link, and I'll have that link for you, especially for my those of you who aspire to be film directors. Definitely want to watch that whole thing, but as you can see, it's very similar to photography, right? Framing, composition. You're hearing the same words even when we talk about our our print design, right? That's the same thing. You're hearing the same term, framing, composition, the same thing. So, but what makes a video? So this, of course, is a short list. This doesn't make a whole video, and this is what doesn't make a whole movie. It's a lot more people on set. But if you break it down, right, shooting, right, where we talk your shots, composition, how people frame, lighting is so important. Lighting can make, you know, a regular camera look 10 times better. It can make a scene look 10 times better. It can make skin look 100 times better. Your lenses, same thing. Your lenses, really, a lot of times you see people, a lot of movies are also being shot with, you know, DSLR bodies, like, you know, the same kind of DSLRs that you have on campus, or that your friend may have, but they have, you know, $1,000, $1,200 lenses that are cinematic lenses, right? So that takes your movie to your video to a whole nother level. Sound is essential. Sound is essential. You can have a great video or great content, but if they can't hear you, if the sound's right, you lose people's attention very quickly. Set design, right? And so that's more like when you go to bigger sets, but even on your small sets, you know, you want to, I say set, and also you can make that set / shot design, right? Because if it's not a whole set and you're just doing something small, you still need to frame things and have the shot and understand the environment that's around your subject matter. And then, of course, closing everything out with editing, right? Again, just far as being in the industry, all these things right here are individual jobs that you can focus on, okay? If you're somebody who just gets good at sound, and you could be a sound person, and that sound job can get you multiple jobs, not just in the industry, but you could be a sound person at, you know, live theater places. At Tanger Outlet in Greensboro, they're going to need sound people. They're going to need, you know, lighting people. They're going to need lens people, camera operators, set designers, right? I just met a guy this past weekend on the set who his focus is set designing and art, you know, art design. So that means he would be on set with another creator, and then, oh, we want to make sure we use this couches or whatever. And they would give him a budget to go, you know, the higher up you go, you would get a budget to go out and pick the stuff for the sets, right? So editing, there's people who just edit, right? At one time I was just editing at WFNY News 2, right? They're always news stations, your local news stations, no matter where you go. Texas, Florida, all states have local news, okay? You could get a local news job being an editor. You can be a local, my broadcaster. You can be there's little towns everywhere, right? Don't let people tell you that, you know, it's so hard to get a job. You could get a job, right? And if you have these skills, okay, right? Like, the reason why I'm gonna go on this tangent, because this digital agency I was working with, in our original team, I was one of the original, right? We had a guy who built websites from scratch. We had a front-end developer who was just like a web designer. He did little coding, HTML, CSS, that's all. And then we had me, who I wore multiple hats. Like, I understood the marketing. I got certified on the marketing, which I'm gonna show you guys on here. I did videography. I edited. I knew how to make logos. All these things, and I'm telling you, I didn't master everything. It took me longer to make logos for clients, right? Now it would be better. So if you want to focus on one thing and master it, that's key, But I've worn multiple hats and multiple positions, so you can kind of be a chameleon in the industry, right? But the main point of my story is the next few people we hired, the front end developer who was just good at Photoshop, Lightroom, and designing websites, and he wasn't even that good because all the websites look alike. Didn't even go to college, okay? Just taught himself how to code and the software that you're learning now, right? And was working professional, for the last 3-4 since high school, right? The other guy, again, and I'm not knocking college because I'm one who went the college route. You know what I mean? I'm not telling you to leave A&T. Don't do that. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is you could get to it right now. Our graphic designer, the other graphic designer that we brought in, who basically just made our hosts for the top shows, made them into like animated pictures, and did our daily content for social media and stuff. Also didn't finish college, but went to school, became efficient with Photoshop, and went ahead and started working. So what I'm saying is all these skills are tangible. There's work in multiple ways, hence intro to multimedia. So I will want you, when you leave this class, to kind of get into your focus. Next year, you should be working on, and whatever project, it should be in development. You should have a website for your social activism, or social media page where you're putting up content. Whatever, if you're a producer, you should have I should see that you got your page up and now she's kicking out daily content. You know what I mean? Like, you can do it now, and you can reach the world. If you can just edit video, all these things. So, like I was speaking earlier, just really kind of finding what you like and going ahead and get into it head first. The sooner the better, the more experience the better. And, you really don't have to wait to make money. You can start making it right now, right as we speak. So looking at moving forward, so you guys got the video part of things. And again, the video is very similar to the photography, setting up, framing. Also with the video, like podcasting, remember you always want to tell a story, right? And make sure if there is audio, like narration, making sure that we see what's going on with that. But now let's move on to the UX design and UI design. So again, UX is user experience, okay? User experience, and UI is the user interface, okay? So when we say experience, can somebody tell me what do you think the difference is between UX and UI? Anybody, give me your best shot. The difference between UX design and UI design. Anybody? I'm gonna give you a hint. I'm gonna give you a hint. It's on the screen right now.
11. I guess UI would just be like what you see, like it's what is visually pleasing, and then the UX is like what the actual information is.
Right. So as you can see from the picture right here, on the right, even though it's cut off, on the right is the UI design, okay? UI, user interface. So when we say interface, interface is like what you see, right? So right now on your screen, that's your interface, right? When you go to McDonald's or wherever you go eat and you see the kiosk, you know how you're not talking to people no more, the screen, the user interface, that's design, right? So on the right, what you see, visual design, what we talked about, color, graphic design, layout, okay? Those are the like keywords for user interface. Now, when we get to user experience, UX, Okay, that's the experience, that's the flow of it, right? That's the flow. If I push this button, it takes me here. And when it takes me here, what if I want to go back? Or what if I want to, how do I scroll? Or how do people know that it's scrolling, right? All right, so that's where you go on the user interaction design, far as wireframes, prototype, right? Information architect, right? They're paying people to design the stuff, not necessarily code it and make sure it works, but you can just design it for somebody. You know what I mean? That's a position as well. Just like web design is position, you can just design a website for somebody, not necessarily that you're making it work. You know, so that is what UX and UI is. That's the difference between them. Okay. Um, and a major part of it, which you guys are going to be getting into, and it will be a part of your project, is wireframing, right? And again, the wireframing goes to, if I push this button, it takes me here. If I click this, it shows this. If I want to be able to go back here, I can go here. Is it confusing? Is it easy to tell what this is, right? So let me have another video for you. This is the user experience in 60 seconds.
UX is not actually the name of the latest Star Wars baddie. UX, for user experience, means anticipating users' needs and behavior to make the digital interface as efficient as possible. And UX is needed everywhere. For example, on Orlan's website, a fashion designer who needs to make sure her customers can easily buy one of her 300 index dresses, skirts, or accessories. And also in Johan's car, which has a new generation dashboard where he must be able to adjust the aircon and radio on the same giant screen and at 130 kilometers an hour. Or on Jean-Pierre's camera, which allows him to retouch and publish his Christmas family photos really easily. UX goes hand in hand with UI, the user interface, which makes it simple to firstly organize elements, secondly, make them look great, and then combine them both to make life easier for users. In short, UX helps you every day. However, it can't stop you from messing up your photos.
All right, so I know that was rapid, quick, but as you can see, UX and UI is used in so many things. Everything is touchscreen now, your phone, right? All these apps. Think about all these companies that have the apps. Think about how many companies don't have an app yet. You know what I mean? And even now, there was, yesterday I was working, we had lunch. They sent us a link for lunch, and click on the restaurant's lunch menu, and they didn't have like a mobile version, and their website wasn't responsive. And when you hear responsive in the industry, that just means that it wasn't fit for a cell phone, right? So we couldn't even see the menu on our cell phones because that particular restaurant did not have that version yet. So that's where, if you're an independent contractor, you go in there, hey, I made this prototype for you. I'll sell you design. I can get a link to your website for this. You know what I mean? Like, it's a lot of opportunity out there because everything is going digital, and it's only going to continue to be even more digital. So again, I say you guys have picked a great major. Back in the day, people used to talk junk about, communicate. Well, what are you going to do with communication? Well, the whole world is communications, And again, it's like, well, some people, well, I'm in PR, and that's no, PR is all the same. All this stuff right here, user interaction and everything is all the same. And I'm going to get more into that part as well in this next part that we get into when we get into social media, especially with the PR part. But the main parts of user experience design and user interface design, user research, okay? And that's really when you're getting into like, if you're building from a company scratch up, and you guys are gonna have to have this. You guys are gonna have to have this far as what your company is. Who is your audience, right? You build a persona on your audience. Like, for example, let's say 106 & Park back in the day, right? We're talking about back when they showed videos on BET. The persona for that was probably somewhere, what you really want to get is the younger crowd back in the day, maybe like 13 to 25, right? 13, really 13 to like 22, 23. Those are the ones who like high school, college, really haven't really working yet. So they'll be home around 4 o'clock or when the show's on, right after school hours. So if I was building a persona, that's the type of person I would maybe make somebody named like Joseph, 15 years old, sophomore in high school, plays sports, catches 106 in Park every day after, whatever. That's what we mean for our persona. And, we'll go into more of that. I'll show you details on that. Wireframing, as you just saw. Prototyping, that's more so where, you are basically, you make a small prototype and it's made out of like paper most of the time. It's papers and people can push it, and then you give them another slice of paper, and that goes into the user testing as well. So there's actually a really dope article that's I have a part of this slide, and you guys be able to see it, that really goes over the process, and it has an index where you can skip down, but it goes over UX design, a lot of things that that go into play, the wireframing. And right here, this will be like a prototype. So you see how like these papers are cut out. You will push the button and you can like slide a paper in there. And that's what really go into the user testing. So that would more so some stuff that we would do, like if you're in class, or if I could, but because of COVID, I'm not really gonna like force you guys to go work in groups, I'm definitely not gonna do that. So, we're gonna kind of like, we're gonna talk about that process, and you're gonna do that process on your own, but we definitely won't have that project per se because of everything that's going on. But here it goes over the research of making a persona, getting a persona, as well as, going through the wireframing, making the prototypes, as you see here. I will give you guys, everything you need far as, making it so that you get through this assignment. You will share things like we did with the journal and your projects. You will share things, though, however, with people, your classmates, going into your final project. You guys won't have to meet up, but you will share things. You have other people give you some opinions, so that, because when you turn in that final project, the final project is the final project. There's no changing, right? So, again, make sure that you are talking to me. Make sure that, you understand everything that's going on when I put it up this week for you. Social media. So everything you learn is a big part of social media and how social media works today and what social media has become. I don't know how much time you spend on social media. I really don't know who or what you use it for, but you should be using it for business. All right, business purposes. I know you may have friends that you're keeping up on high school and you got a personal page, but if you want to be something or are that, you need to go ahead, like I said, go ahead and make you a business page. Go ahead and make you, a director's page. Go ahead and make you, if you're starting to film, start making a web series or start making some kind of content that you're promoting, and use social media as your platform, because TikTok reaches all over the world, Instagram's all over the world. So you can build your following and build your brand right now. Like imagine if you start your company right now, and where you could be next year if you started. All of you, if you started your company now on what you like to do, right? Or even if if it's the director, small film set, if you're a broadcaster, start filming your stuff, start making a demo of yourself with your iPhone and putting stuff out there. Imagine where you could be, what kind of internships you could get. If you're still in school, what kind of internships you can get because you're already doing it, right? But getting into social media, I say all this, what you're learning is big because social media is about business. It's a business now, right? It's to keep people connected. But and you can kind of, this picture's kind of distorted, it's bad quality, but every fourth, you can kind of see here, every fourth or fifth post now is a sponsored ad. Okay, it's a sponsored ad. I'm actually running sponsored ads for businesses. That's one of my freelance gigs. Is we're running an ad campaign actually for Preservation Greensboro. You may have seen that ad going across your phone about a virtual haunted house at one of the historical buildings in Greensboro, right? Preservation Greensboro. And you know, they pay you as a client to run these ads for them. Now, running these ads, like I know you guys on Instagram, so where you see like you post something and it says promote, you know, that's what that is. You can promote, you can do age, you can do just city, different counties, right? Even if you get into the Facebook ad management, because Facebook owns Instagram, you could get as specific as zip codes, okay? So you can really target your audience. So when I say start your own business, I'm not saying it's like start your business and let's hope that this business succeeds, right? No, I'm telling you to start your business and it will succeed because you will also understand the marketing side of your business, right? And you understand that the images that I put together, the colors that I put together, when I have the extra money to market, or I have an extra $20 this month, let me do a $20 campaign to reach this many people. All that will make sure that whatever you're doing will be successful. So let me go back a slide. So when we talk about social media marketing, and I'll get into that again, the technicalities. We're going to go into the software. We're going to go into everything in the next class. But right now, just kind of give you an overview of what we're getting into. On the social media marketing side of things, you can do that through Facebook. Facebook controls Instagram. Also, you have your Snapchat for business, TikTok for business, all these things. And you guys understand how many business owners just don't know how to really use this stuff. They just don't know how to use Facebook. I mean, they're on it, but as far as like doing business stuff or setting up a page or setting up a business page, right? Making it look visually appealing, you know, they don't know how to do that. So you guys are at the age where you can be social media manager, right? Right now, like you can put that right now on there. I mean, of course, and okay, maybe you haven't done it for a business yet. Well, go to a local business, or if you're not from Greensboro, a business that you're cool with back home. Hey, let me do your social media management, make their page look good, grow it, and now you can shop to other companies, you know, and get them paying you monthly for 3 months or 4 months. You know, hey, let me manage you for 3 months, $500 a month, and you know, if you're happy with the results, we'll keep it going, but I can guarantee this, and this, right? Google My Business, also another marketing tool, marketing skill that you can start right now and start making money right now. What Google My Business is like, okay, let's say here I think it's like computer fixes near me or stores that fix computers, right? Well, Google My Business is, or if you start your business, you have to do Google My Business so that you will show in the Google listings on the search results, right? So if I said Italian restaurant near me, and then, you know, you have in the top, most of the time people are doing paid ads. That's something else I'm gonna show you in a second. Most of the top in the beginning are your Google ads or paid ads that people are paid to be at the top. But after you get through the ads, you also have the listings, right? Google My Business listings. And this is where you want to be. And this is basically like setting up a social media page. Basically, it's not hard. You go to Google My Business. You can set it up for a business. If you can do it for yourself, or if you're setting up for a business, they send a confirmation letter to the business, and then they put it in, and you can still put all the information in for them, their business hours, pictures, put up their website, right? And the more Google reviews, this Google My Business is based off of reviews, customer reviews, and your location, right? This is something that's part of marketing your business, right? But this is all, it's all kind of part of the social media game. Ads, okay? This is another skill. Now, again, this really isn't part of your assignment per se. Like, don't think this is all a part of your assignment. I'm giving you life jewels right now. I'm giving you a way that you could get some skills right now. You could leave this class and be ahead of the game and start, working independently, or you could put this on your resume and, this could get you a job. How to get Google Ads certification. So what is Google Ads? Google Ads is a number of things, and let me just get to it. Here, this is a free training right here. Okay, welcome to Skill Shop, and here you can get let me see. We'll just go through here. Here you could get Google Ads certified, right? Which I am, and basically that means you can run ads for people. Okay, so let's say Google Ads includes YouTube. All right, so that means you know how you watch a YouTube video and then ads come in between it, right? You can run those for people, or you can run your own, okay? And if you manage it for people, you can charge them as a management fee, right? If you're running it for yourself, the only thing you have to be concerned with is your budget, how much money you're spending to, make sure your ads are running. Again, what we were just talking about, Google My Business, okay? Google Analytics. What is Google Analytics? Google Analytics is being able to, it connects, you use a tag, you put it on your website or your client's website, and now you could track their analytics, or you could track your analytics to your website, who's going, where they're coming from. It's all in the same Google dashboard. Google Display, and they have so many other, like, I'm not even certified for all of this, just the main stuff. Google Ads, what you get in Google Ads, and that's like Google Display, and then also YouTube. You're pretty much good. And see, look, Google Ads certification, Google Ads Video, Google Ad Display, Google Ads Search, shopping ads. And again, this is free. Okay, you hear me? This is free. Okay, that means you could get certified and you can add this to your resume as a skill right now. You know what I mean? Like, that's major. Okay, that's major. You can start working. You can have a little side hustle job right now. And you're professional. You do this. You get into this Google Ads stuff, and you're on. And the reason why I say social media, because YouTube is like one of your top search engines, Google top search engines, and these ads, I bring this up because it fits into social media marketing as well. It's all in the same kind of area, So if you doing social media marketing, and really you're gonna have to, if you're building your brand, again, talking to my producers, to my film directors, everybody, my broadcasters, you could be running, these sponsor ads for yourself to show up on people who have the same interests as you. You'll be showing up on their feed, you know what I mean? And, $20-$40 can get you a long way.
Oh, that's dope. That's cool. That's really cool right there.
Yeah, $20-$40 can get you a long way if you are an artist. Say you do music, right? And you got a single. Well, you can market yourself right now. You don't need a label right now. You know what I mean? You can put a clip of your video up, right? Say you got the skills yourself. Maybe somebody shot it for you, they gave it to you, but you can edit a little bit. You make a little sizzle, like a 30-second sizzle, or like the content that we've been making for class. You post it. Now you have this little promote button on your Instagram, right? Or on your Facebook. You promote it, put $20 there. It'll show you how many people it'll probably reach in that demographic, right? And now people that you don't know, it's basically like a free commercial, not a free commercial, but it's commercials now. You're sending out commercials from the palm of your hand, right? And not just for yourself, but you can make a career out of this, okay? You can make a career just being able to function on running somebody's TikTok page. Go to a company like, hey, TikTok is where it's at right now. You know, I see other companies that are doing this. Let me do this for you. I'll charge you $300, $400, $500, $600, $700 a month. You know, whatever pay scale y'all can agree to. So we're gonna get into the project and the softwares that I expect you to use next class. You know, we're gonna jump right into like the skills, but this PowerPoint, I wanted you to kind of see where we're headed with everything that you learned already, how everything that you learned already in the lectures already fit into what we're doing and what we're about to do, and kind of go ahead and start thinking about your final project. I will have the details up. I promise you this week, in the next day or so, I'm free the rest of the day. I've been kind of MIA. I didn't get everything up last week because I did have an opportunity. You know, like I told you guys a little bit earlier, I did have an opportunity to get on a set out here, which was pretty cool. And let me stop sharing. Really stop sharing. Okay. And that was pretty dope. And so I've been really busy this week. Like you have to be 12-hour days or so. But now I have time today and tomorrow to go ahead and get all the material up like I want. I will be using the media link and I noticed that when I'm into the media hub, I don't think you guys can log in too. So I think some of you had difficulty seeing some of the videos I sent out. But all your lectures will be up there. Your assignment will be up there. So again, just start thinking about it. If you know what you want to be, kind of think about how you would brand yourself. Would you have an app? Do you need an app? Would you have a store, right? At least how would your website look? Okay, start thinking about these things. What would my logo be like, right? If you go ahead and start designing and start doing your stuff, you're going to be ahead on this assignment. If you don't want to brand yourself, even if you know what you want to be, you don't have to do this project on yourself. You can use a company. I know what I did. I did Dame's Chicken and Waffles back when I was in school. I did that when they had first opened and met the owner. And his website was not responsive. So I made an app, and rebranded and gave a new logo with it. So that's the kind of idea. I'm like, if you wanted to rebrand Walmart, right? So maybe you think Walmart needs new colors or whatever. Or if you wanted to rebrand A&T Student Union and give the Student Union its own app, and you could order early and go in and pick up your food, or you think the Student Union needs an app, and you can take that. If you want, if somebody like that idea, you can take that. I'm not saying, I'm not gonna be like, oh, they took my idea. Take that, use it. Like, I want you guys to be creative. If there's anything, it doesn't have to be your own business. If there's another business, think about what you can create. You're going to be doing some wireframing. You're going to be designing. You're going to be you're not going to be making the actual website, but it'll be a functioning demo basically. And I'm excited. This is a big piece to your portfolio. Remember that everything that we're doing is a portfolio piece. Everything that we've done from your initial graphic design. So if your initial paper print graphic design was not that good and you look back on it and you want to spice it up, make it look good, especially for my people who want to be writers or you want to write for a magazine. Well, you want to make sure that print design look, that digital graphic, what you're writing looks good. right? Not only that it reads good, but it's aesthetically appealing, right? As we move on,
Excuse me.
yes.
I'm sorry. I just would like to get a gist of what we're doing, like, because you said a lot, but in terms of the project, are we going to be doing another like audio project, or like like what you've explained is very vast, like going in the aspect of promoting a website. Are we going to make a video speaking on who we are? Are we going to be able to make another podcast talking about, advertising ourselves or advertising another business? I just need you to narrow it down so I can
Okay.
know how to focus on creativity.
So the project is called Digital Marketing Consultant, right? You are going to be a marketing consultant. So what that means
Okay.
is what your project is, you're going in either as your own business, right? And you're branding your company digitally, okay? Or you're helping another company rebrand themselves digitally. So what do I mean by that? You're in multimedia, so it's wide. I can't limit you on this project, right? But there are going to be some requirements. So basically, color, logo, all right. That's going to be one thing. So let's say I'm gonna show you the two sides of the project. Let's say that I'm the digital marketing consultant and I'm working for Popeye's Chicken. Okay, I'm just throwing that out there. And no, I'm not gonna say Popeyes. I'm gonna say something like, I don't know, Pizza Hut, because they kind of sucking right now compared to Domino's and Papa John's and all these other companies. So let's say I'm doing this project, and I said, Fresh Pizzas, I'm doing this project on Pizza Hut. Looking at Pizza Hut, and I look at their website. It actually, I think they need to change their colors to, blue and yellow. Their original colors were this, but industry shows that blue is more calming and trusting colors, and they lost trust because of blah, blah, blah. And our target market, our target person, far as persona would be this. I think that their app should be like this, right? You're going to design an app for them, right? As far as using wireframing, which we're going to get into next lesson. Website design, right? So basically, you're going to be seeing a website, a desktop version of the website. And again, it's not going to be functional. I'm going to show you everything. I know it sounds like a lot, but that's why it's a final project, kind of incorporating everything we're doing. Because as far as the print side of it, what we did earlier, font, spacing, composition, all that's going to be incorporated. So a website design, a mobile version design or app design, okay? Of course, you're going to logo and the colors incorporated, and then there will be some type of video, whether it's video, you use video if you feel like they need, because maybe you're doing something for a company that needs, like, hey, what we're talking about here, as far as your company, it would be good for you guys to have a blog or a podcast. So maybe we get another version, or even take it back. Say you're doing it the other side of the project. You're doing it for yourself. Say you like, hey, this is my brand. My brand is my podcast. This is what I want to do. Okay, well, we need to make, you got a logo for your podcast. You need to make a website design. We're going to make an app design for your podcast. How do people see your episodes? Okay, I got to your episodes. Well, how do I get back to your homepage? We're going to go over all those details. But does that kind of make sense? Where you're going to be a digital marketing consultant. So as that consultant, you are telling your company that you're speaking to, or you're speaking for yourself on why you're branded this way, why your website looks this way, why your mobile website or app looks this way, why are you using this video to marketing, that type of thing. That's what this project encompasses. Does that make sense?
Yes, it makes sense. Just to rephrase really quickly, because I see time is running short. So being a digital marketer, like in this project, so I would be focusing on, for instance, if I chose to make one of myself, I would present this is a website idea I came up for what I want to do in terms of my dreams and the business I have. And then I'll show the class the demo of the website.
Right.
Or, okay, and
Right.
or it could be a situation of I would like to do a podcast for myself, representing myself. This is the cover art, this is the tagline, and this is what is surrounding. So I get what you're saying. There are different avenues we can go about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
Okay.
even with the podcast, you're still gonna have a website interface designed by you and a mobile, either website design or app. Because really, a app, your mobile. Let me clear this up. Your app design and your mobile website or responsive website, they're pretty much the same thing far as designing, right? And that's what we're going to get into next week. What you just got a taste of today of UX design, and UI design. But
Wait, so we're gonna have to make an app?
you're not going to have to make an app. You're going to design an app. Okay, it's a difference. You're not going to have to code it. You're not learning. This ain't coding. This ain't HTML. All you learning is designing. You're learning what we talked about today is UX and UI. So that's user interface design and user experience design. Okay, you get that? You're not going to coding. You're not learning no HTML, no CSS. You're designing, right? This is because that's interactive media. When you touch screens and then it takes you order and that takes you somewhere, that's part of multimedia, right? That's interactive media. That's when you show your phone and you go and you want to go here, that's user interface design. That's user experience design. People have to design those. And the softwares that you have, that's how they design this stuff. All right. So that's all. So I got 3 minutes. So if my business is a podcast for this assignment, right? I'm gonna be a podcaster. This is what I'm doing. I'm gonna keep this going, right? I expect to see a logo designed by you, right? A website design, right? And we're gonna go into some software where it's basically a demo website, and we don't have to make it live. If you want to make it live, I'll show you how to make it live, and you can make it live. I'm gonna show you how to, because a lot of these websites, you design them, but you for the purposes of the assignment, you're gonna have to design the mobile version as well. So the mobile version, like I said, you can either make it an app or just a mobile version of your website. And then some type of creative content, whether it's an example of the podcast, a video sizzle of the podcast, right? Same thing for a business. Say you want to be a shoe designer, right? Like, hey, I'm gonna be a shoe designer. I want to do shoes, or I want to do this for this company. Okay, well, what's the logo of the shoes? What's the website gonna look like? What's the mobile version of that website, or what the app is gonna look like? And then what's the marketing? What's the visual that I'm gonna see? Are you making a picture story? We just hear cool sounds and pictures of it, or I'm gonna see a nice commercial for you, or whatever. So there's gonna be some type of, creative content along with that. But again, the whole details are gonna be out on a PDF for you. So it seems like a lot, but it's really a final project of 4 elements of stuff that we kind of already done, and you're going to be learning more as far as the social media and the UX design and the video.